And Moose was one of a few who just put Sigma slap bang at the top. And I think we talked about in our previous game where Switzerland seemed to just not have anyone who can play Sigma and what a disadvantage it was. Moose seems to be really keen and really at the top of his game and confident in his own Sigma. And I think having someone like that is of huge value. We saw Knassen get interrupted and separated a few times going for that gravitic flux. Moose, on the other hand, disciplined, tidy, supporting his team where he needed it, and just helping Germany get over the line.
Yeah, I mean, both of these Sigmas seem to be very, very comfortable in their skin, though. I mean, we've seen Knazen in the last game doing some crazy things, getting 4 or 5 people graphitic fluxes, getting a double or even a triple kill out of those. So I'm still waiting on him to find his stride yet again, because if we can see the caliber of Knazen and Moose go head-to-head on these Sigmas, that will be fireworks for everyone. However, we are running into Havana right now, very defense-heavy first point. So what can we expect? Can we expect a double Sigma, or are we going to see something a bit more rushy?
So last time we saw Israel playing this map, they played double sniper on the defense. So could very well see them go for that again. I think at this stage, you have to bear in mind these rosters are newly formed, right? They're new teams, essentially. So for the most part, their strategies and the compositions they run are probably going to be relatively narrow compared to, say, what they might look like in a month's time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of the same, maybe with a few different unique things. So it's going to be Israel starting on the defense here, on the attack here first. And no changes from Germany. Happy to just keep running the May Reaper. They won 2-0. Why change? Why don't fix it if it's not broken, right?
Well, yeah, that is true. Also, I mean, if you have a guy like Raddy who is being flagged as your main target right there, you essentially, as Germany, are forcing Israel to, focus one player while the other DPS player, namely Engineer, just basically has a level playing field and can just, well, not do whatever they want, but at least have an easier time of, going around, find the flank that Reaper needs. And we're seeing these people coming out of the gates. Hadi already finds Alive, who is on a bastion. The immortality zone coming out for Potts, trying to save the rest of the team, but it looks immediately as if Israel are going down a bunch. A lot of low hit points seeing in there. Potts and Awkward at half HP. Dark Arts already down. I mean, a spawn advantage doesn't count for much if all you can do is move all the way back in there as Engineer and also Rapid pop off with the first couple of kills right there.
It looked good for a second. It looked like that immortality field from Puds was enough for him to swing the fight. They turn 1 kill, but then they get separated. Refid on the hunt, chases down that Baptiste. Now they're pinned in at spawn. Bastion was a nice idea, but an excellent wall from Rady. And now we're going to see this again. Germany will just run at Israel. Israel have to swap over to a mirror.
That's true, and the Convalescence comes out, healing the entirety of Team Germany, who are not giving up their forward position, as Engineer finds Aviv. Alive tries out Rady, though, so now Engineer alone on those DPS. Hardy coming in from the side with a nice flank on that Orisa, almost getting a pop in there, but Awkward finds Engineer, and it looks as if Israel finally find a situation where they can push out of it if they play it tightly. But Moose still has that graphitic, so let's see what they can do. Going down to Alive, though, who finds not one, but finds 2 people in that fight, and the payload finally move in here.
Exactly. They've only just got out of spawn, though, but it's taken them a minute and a half to do that. As soon as trade started coming in for Israel, the spawn advantage was always going to be enough to eventually let them win the fight. They're swapping back onto the Bastion now, alongside the May. Going to sit the Bastion up. Last time we saw Rady with really good displacement, separates the Bastion from his team and be able to take him down. This time, they'll be looking to do the same thing once again.
Yeah, Alive in trouble, though, going all the way up there by that May wall and immediately getting pumped out. Engineer finding Potts and his immortality zone, so Israel potentially in trouble. Awkward going down as Moose finds him yet again and finds Aviv popping off yet again on that Sigma, showing just how devastating this tank can be in the right hands. And it is a reset for Israel as the payload stops just shy of that first point.
Sloppy from Israel, I think. It feels like they didn't see them coming at all. Germany completely caught them with their pants down, run over that Bastion. The Bastion was that was the gimmick, right? That was the trick that would allow them to shred them down. So if that goes down, the rest of the fight is straightforward from there. Back onto the mirror, lots of ults on the side of Germany. Israel starting to run out of time. They need to find an opening soon here, and they do it for Blizzard.
Yeah, and they are. Now let's see, Engineer has an ultimate up there, Rady as well, so maybe we can see a bit of a nice combination if Aviv doesn't drop the Blizzard too soon, or as the defense Engineer with the Death Blossom finding 2 targets. Now both Blizzards out of it, and Engineer finds Dark Arthurs as the Death Blossom ends out. Low on hit points though, but very, very big advantage for Germany, and that payload hasn't moved an inch.
The late Blizzard from Aviv, he's going to be regretting that one. I feel like it came in really late, they'd already lost people, so they couldn't follow up on it. Bet he wishes he had it for this fight now. Now instead, they've only got Knassen's ult. It can do work, but so far we've seen Germany be super disciplined in how they respond to ultimates here. I expect more of the same, plus they have rapid speed.
Though now, a big chunk and a big attack here from Israel. Engineers down, Rady and ITB were low. Rady now going down, no DPS on side of Team Germany as Israel is moving in and is moving in with a vengeance. Moose trying to get that next Graphitic Flux up there, but runs into Alive, who is just not letting up at this point. The Bull are not finding anything, but the Graphitic Flux is up there. Alive going down. So, a bit of an equilibrium as Engineer is back in there in the fight. Knarsen with the ultimate, not finding any targets though. Germany stabilizing and just keeping this one alive and kicking. The overtime week running, and that was the first round.
Complete full hold, great from Germany. We talked about it again. You see the difference, right? You see Knassen use his ultimate, can't seem to find a good target. They only get maybe 1 kill during it. Compared to the other side of Moose, Moose gets a great one. Doesn't get any kills, but he gets both tanks down to half HP. He gets damage through, even though he goes down, and that allows them to sort of ult their way back onto that point. Now Germany in a great position. They only need to complete first point to win this map, and a 2-0 lead going into the sort of halfway point. Great position for German.
Yeah, that's true. And like you pointed out, the biggest play right there was Moose basically pulling a Jesus for the rest of Team Germany, sacrificing his life as he ascended into the sky while the rest of the team were, restabilizing and saving that point cap. Well done right there. So what can we see on attack? What are we going to expect for Team Germany on attack as both teams set up?
Again, if I'm Germany, I'm maybe not expecting anything different. For the most part, they've won the mirror matchup pretty convincingly. Israel are swapping back over to their double snipers, and this will give Germany a different kind of problem. Germany on different heroes now. We'll have to wait and see if that sticks. But last time we saw Israel do this, they were all on the high ground. They opted not to defend far forward and not to defend the first corner, but kind of let the other team in and then hit them from both sides with a flank. The problem with doing this right now, though, is it means they only have one fight. So they only have one location to fight, basically, before they lose the map. So they have to win 4 minutes worth of fights in that location if they do the same thing here. But I think we might be going for a double shield Bastion coming out from Team Germany, Ollie.
Yeah, versus a double sniper right there. It would be hard to for Team Israel to pop both those bubbles, even though the range is very long. But remember that a shield from Reinhardt and a shield from Orisa is just more shield value than a shield from an Orisa and a Sigma. So Engineer has a bit of freedom to just do what he does best, namely throw a lot of bullets at a little shield. So let's see, the first corner is being rounded. Engineer still not really in trouble. The immortality field keeping them nicely alive together with those double shields. And it is Aviv who first looked like they were going down. Now Moose trying to find a target. The shield very low, but he is looking to swing. Aviv finds Rapid, IBTB going down. So no healing here for Team Germany. Only Hardy still on the point right there together with the shield. Engineer low going down by Alive, who is back on that Widowmaker. And this time it looks as if Israel are playing the stabilizing game very close to the cap point though.
Great play from Israel. They played exactly into their win condition. Shame that Pods got caught right at the end, but he should be able to get back. Someone can go play taxi for him. But perfect, right? You said that immortality field was keeping him safe, but if you look at where it was on that first corner, that's so far back compared to where Germany actually needs to fight. That's a perfect time to force them. Now Moose onto the Hammond. So now Moose is just going to sit himself on top of these snipers and try and make Alive and Aviv's life hell.
Yeah, it's either that or just trying to boop Hardy out of position as quickly as possible. But it is Alive who is keeping on with keeping on. 29 hit points now. He's in trouble, but a very nice shot there on Roddy. Okay. Knarzen looking, even though his barrier is low, looking for a bit of a flank, trying to set himself up for success, and it is alive, and Knarzen now pushing Team Germany alive on a very good Widow Day. We've seen that in the last map, and he's just keeping on with that track record and making it very hard for those, you know, close range encounters that Germany is trying to set up.
Germany running into a bit of a problem here. Also important to note that Germany have been investing ultimates as well. So Israel are sitting pretty comfortable. Going to get the comp swap out now. Back onto the trusty Reaper and May. Now they can look to run over that front line. And the question is, can Israel kill them?
Knarzen with that double on the graphitic flux, stopping Germany in their tracks almost by himself, alive there to drop a lot of damage on those flying targets. Beautifully executed here by Israel. 1 minute 20 on the clock.
Great synergy there between the long range damage and that gravitic flux. Puts them straight up in the air. Easy shots. I was about to say, it's all about whether Germany can win the frontline battle before Alive and Aviv get too much damage. Knarzen gets in one fight for free. 1 minute mark has to be good from Germany here. They're running out of options.
Moose almost taken out Alive and almost taken out Aviv there with some very, very nice projectiles. Aviv finding Engineer, and Germany once again on the defensive because they are missing one of their DPSs. IBTB going down to Aviv as well, and now they need to restabilize. They need to pull back, and actually they need a Maywall just to keep Israel from following them all the way back to spawn.
Now Germany have the Blizzard, a big up for them to work with. Hadi going over to the Hammond. They need to make sure they get the touch. Also, Hadi can sit on top of the snipers. Just weaken their front line, but they should still be okay with the May Reaper here. Again, all about Alive and Aviv. Hadi needs to shot one of them out at least.
Yeah, that is right. And while Team Germany on paper looks like at least the more experienced Team Israel are giving them a run for the money. Radi now with the Blizzard ready has to ice block because it was being singled out yet again. Going on to very low hit points, not able to rejoin the team for quite a while. And it is Alive waiting in a corner to see whether or not he can take him. But Radi with the Blizzard, let's see if they can pull it up. Halt it up there. And it is the graphitic blocks right there. And Knarzen finds Moose with it. Awkward finding Engineer. And now Israel once again on the upper hand, only Refit there. The overtime week going down and going down quickly. And this looks very good what Team Israel is doing. Israel winning this map.
I can't believe it. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. After we saw the sort of disappointing attack from Israel, I don't think anyone would have expected that. Superbly played. Germany really seemed to run into a problem there. They didn't really have a solution that worked for them. By the time they got into the May Reaper, I think the May Reaper can work, but I think the problem is they were then doing it at ult disadvantage. Another important thing to note, we talked about Rady right before the game. Dark Artist in his interview talked about Rady and how good he is and how they want to make a threat from him. Last fight, Rady's walking in with Blizzard, normally danger alarms, right? But on the double sniper, they can take those far back positions. Alive's in no danger, Aviv's in no danger, and they can just pick them off, and it limits the impact Rady can have because it's a different type of fight.
Oh yeah, that is so true. I mean, if you look at Alive and Aviv as well, you know, Aviv is a mid-range beast, so there's a lot of damage coming out of there. What I was wondering is why Rady didn't pull the trigger on that just a tad earlier, because they could have gone in there. It was absolutely great to run it in. So we are going to see the next map in.